but it shuffles around all the time. But Moulin Rouge always is either in it or edging. So. And always remember, spoiler alert. Welcome on back to Same But Different, the talk show that nobody asked for, but we're doing it anyway, where we talk all things movie, entertainment, TV, whatever we really want. My name is Brody, and over to my one of these sides, we've got...
Derek. Derek's here.
Derek's here. We got both brothers today. Before we kick off this episode, I just want to say thank you to everybody who comes back every week, all of our new viewers, everybody. We appreciate and love all of you. If you like what you see, please follow, like, subscribe, all that jazz. It helps us out, and we want to keep doing this, so help us.
Help us, please.
I say it with anger, but it's really like a cry for help. This month is coming to an end, and we have the final episode of May I Have This Dance. It's been an interesting month because neither me or Derek care much for dance movies.
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over.
It's been an okay time. We've had some hits, we've had most misses. And our last movie, as you can probably see in the title, or if you came last week, is Honey. 2003, Jessica Alba's Honey. Would you like to kick us off, Derek?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hear what Derek thought.
When this film ended, I texted Brody and I said, I'm happy that I get to check that off my list of movies that I've seen. That doesn't mean that I was happy to watch it.
Could have gone either way.
Got it out of my system. I've watched it. Good to go. The movie wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So my expectations were like in the dirt for this movie, to be honest. It exceeded those expectations. I'll give it that. Overall, wasn't a great movie. It's very standard early 2000s formulaic singer music video-esque type of movie. And this one felt very much like just a series of music video promotions with a through line of a loosey-goosey plot about a dancer who's trying to make it big. Came out in 2003, but at this point it's nothing I haven't seen before.
Let's hear those gripes. Sorry, I
gripes first?
Over you.
That's okay. That's okay. Gripes first. I think that's kind of cool. The other person deciding which they want to hear first. That's like the good news, bad news scenario. You know?
That's true. I just felt demanding.
I take my notes in sequential order. I try to. Off the hop, chatting at the bar, and in every scene where they're chatting at the bar, and the music is probably very loud because it's a club where people dance. They're just having normal conversation across the bar from each other, not raising their voice at all. It just seemed very silly. There are plenty of movies out there that do it right where the music's loud, but they also get the actors to yell to feign the idea that they're trying to get their voice across to them. There are just a bunch of silly moments when she first went into her, I guess it's kind of an audition, but he had already asked her to come dance for him. And the first time she's on stage and he's like, oh, I need something different. I need to be sexier. They all look robotic. And honey, you do something. And then she's like, okay, I got this. And then her performance is pretty much exactly the same thing he was complaining about. And then he's like, yes, that's it. That was dumb. Overarching thing that I didn't like. Everybody was not a good actor, especially Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba was very cringy. Mekhi Phifer did okay. And even her friend was all right for the short amount of screen time she had. But most everybody else was just kind of a very, very bad actor. A lot of that had to come from directing too, I noticed, because there were just hand gestures and movements that just tried to accentuate the point, but just absolutely wasn't needed. Like there were some times where Jessica Alba would laugh and she would literally just bring her hands up to her face and like, There was a lot of pointing and it was just bad acting overall. I don't care whose fault it is. It's just bad acting.
All right, okay.
This is neither bad nor good, but I just want to point it out. Did you notice? Maybe people know this because it was a song that sampled this, but the Y&R theme song came on at one point.
You know what? Okay, no. I mean, yes, I noticed, and no, I didn't piece it together. I knew the song, but I didn't in my brain connect it to Y&R, which I should have because that's embedded in our childhood. But...
yeah, there must have been a song in the 2000s that sampled it. And that's the song that we heard in the movie. But as soon as the piano came on, I was like, what? what is happening? Something that I really liked about the movie is that the story and the way it was written, it was just a very nice story. Like on paper, I can see a boardroom of people reading over the script and just all nodding in agreement and being like, yeah, this is really wholehearted and nice. By the end of it, I was just like, everybody is nice. It's a tight-knit community that more or less support each other. And then whenever somebody did come on screen who was kind of antagonistic, it was immediately extinguished. The main manager guy was a creep, and from the get-go, he was kind of a douche, but he never really, like, they could have pushed it, I guess. Maybe it's the rating, but they could have pushed him into evil territory. And I don't think he quite got to evil per se. Like, he could have been a lot worse. Not to downplay that it was bad, or it wasn't bad, because it was what he did. But like, I feel like they could have made him more of a villain. him saying, "Why you gotta play me like that?" was fucking hilarious.
Well, that's who he was. He's a douchebag. He has this mentality that he's hot shit and should talk like the cool people in the early 2000s.
Oh my god. It was so funny. There are a couple moments in the movie that odd choices for camera angles and movements and lenses. That one guy confronted Honey and said, leave my kid brother alone, tell him to come back to me. And then Mekhi Phifer stepped in and said, what are you doing? The camera angle just got super wide lens and really close to their faces. I'm like, what is this? I understand using that method to make you feel weird and make it feel off-putting, but the content of the conversation didn't necessarily warrant that.
You just have the eye of a filmmaker, because I didn't notice cinematography.
You didn't notice that
at all.
Oh man, I understand being close in that situation, because they are close to each other and they're being very confrontational with each other, but to have the wide angle lens and warp their faces and it looked like a Terry Gilliam film, it was so weird. I think the relationship between Mekhi Phifer's character and Jessica Alba's character Honey, it was done really well. I think they planted the seeds early on with like glances across the room and tiny little flirting here and there. For him to be the barbershop guy and then ask her out through the little kid was really cute. It was just like a really nice organic way to build a relationship and didn't feel rushed at all. So I thought that was really cool. And then the final thing that really bugged me is when just before he fires all the kids from the Genuine Music shoot and he's like, I got a backup plan, brings in the cars, and that woman from the very beginning of the movie that you haven't seen since comes out of the car like she's the main villain or like her arch nemesis or something. I was like, who is this? Go away. That was so dumb. Those are all my thoughts. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. However, by the end of the movie, I do kind of wish I got my time back. It was only an hour and a half, but I just kind of wish I didn't watch it. In that case, it needs to get less than a 5. Giving it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 from Derek.
5 would indicate that I somewhat enjoyed my time, and I didn't really. So 4.5, creeping up there, but not really.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now guess my rating.
Oh man, I think you're gonna give this middle of the road 5, because it's a movie that exists.
I kind of really enjoyed this.
No.
I don't think it was good. Let me talk, okay, man?
No, shut up right now. We're ending the episode. It's over.
Bye. Okay, listen, first of all, I am baffled. Even 24 hours later, I only watched this yesterday, and I thought for sure I'd think back and be like, oh, I was just in the heat of the moment or whatever, but like, I enjoyed it.
Nah, you were high. Stop fucking around.
Sure, Jessica Alba might not have done an amazing job acting, but the character of Honey was so wonderful. She never missed a beat. She was so likable. She kept making the right choices. I was always rooting for her. She chased her dream, but then realized fame wasn't her dream. It was just to be able to make a difference. And she just always was on the right page of a likable main character. I don't know. I was proud of her, and I kept going like, yeah, you go, Honey, which made me feel like super... It was like, yeah, you got it, honey. It just was funny. Jessica Alba may have like the warmest and nicest smile of all time. Right from the opening shot of her bartending, that smile she was shooting across the bar, I'm like, my gosh, what a perfect smile. I was very happy to find out that the dancing aspect of this movie was kind of like tertiary almost. I mean, yes, it was about dancing, but it never rubbed it in my face because I couldn't care less about the dancing. I really couldn't. Honestly, if I was in a club dancing on the dance floor and a group of 12 women just started doing choreographed dancing in the middle of the dance floor, I would be pissed. I don't care how good you are. Practice on your own time or get on stage. Don't ruin my fucking night. Rude is rude. We are different in the sense that, yes, Mekhi Phifer did a good job, and it was sweet what they had, but it's just kind of pointless. It never felt like it really added anything to the plot to me. I know a movie like this almost organically has to have a romance, but it just felt like it didn't need one to me. But she deserves good, and he was good, and I get it, but...
I think if they were to write his character where he had more interaction with the kids and he could also be a figure for them to look up to, like, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
You're right. He was kind of sidelined a bit.
Yeah. It would be like if one of the people on his team wanted to join the hip hop class but didn't want to look like a fool or get made fun of, and he helped them. I think the director guy absolutely crushed his role.
He looked like, I said he looked like a Wish version of Kirk Cameron.
Oh, okay. See, I was getting Michael Penn. I think they let you hold on just long enough with him. Like, is he an asshole or is he just really confident? Because he was a little charming to start. Like, there was a little bit of maybe. Mm-hmm. And then you find out he's a sleazy, weenie weasel bitch. And I just think... I just think he played the part really well. I loved to hate him.
I was even on his side at the beginning when, you know, the choreographer lady was trying to, like, step on his toes and he was trying to direct. And he's like, can I direct here, please? Because
Exactly.
I've been in that situation. Like, he's the director. Let him work. And I was like, just let this guy do his thing. And everybody kept interrupting him and telling him what to do. I was like, this is not how... I'm on this guy's side. Like, he should rightfully be frustrated, but then it turned around.
Especially when he's one of the most popular and sought after ones out there. I do agree that the movie was a bit cliche and formulaic in terms of plot, but it was cute. Like you said, it was sweet. It never beat the point home of what was going on. It was just a wonderful, cute little story. It was a little, I don't want to say shallow is the wrong word, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was inspirational. It was well-intentioned. It was silly at times. Its heart was in the right place. It just wasn't good. Oh, well. Not every movie has to be, I guess. I enjoyed the 90 minutes. It was perfect length. This movie didn't need to be any longer than that. I am the opposite of you, so I'm going to give it the highest rating I can give a movie that I don't actually deem a good movie, and that is a 6.5.
Okay. Man, in my mind, I was like, he's going to say 7. He's going to say 7. I'm going to lose my fucking shit. But 0.5 less.
A 7 to me means I genuinely think that movie is good. I know this movie wasn't good, but I liked it, so 6.5 and shut up.
You and I have very different rating systems in our minds then. Because to me, if I enjoyed a movie, but I know it's bad, it starts at 5. And then I go up from there.
No, because 5 is just middle of the ground, middle of the road. It doesn't need to be good.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be a good movie, but I still have to, like, somewhat enjoy my time and, like, not regret watching it.
I agree, but I did enjoy my time and don't regret watching this.
Right. That's 5 for me, too. We're saying the same thing.
That doesn't make any sense. If you watch a movie and you didn't enjoy your time, I don't know, how do you give that a 5? And then also, if you enjoyed your time, you give it a 5.
No. Okay. I think what's happening is 5 is where I start with it's an enjoyable movie. It doesn't have to be good, right? That's where I start.
Okay, 5 for me is just average. No good, no bad. Just not. I can't even. It's just a movie that happened.
Yeah, to me, there's no movies can't exist in that world, because if a movie exists in a world where, like, yeah, that just happened, then it's not a good movie.
And I'm happy with my 6.5.
We got to keep track of our ratings and then compare to what else you've rated 6.5, because I guarantee you would change your tune.
Because we don't have proof right now, I'm going to confidently say you're wrong.
If you watched Honey, leave your rating down below. Tell us what you thought about it. If you've seen it before, too. It doesn't have to be just in this past week. Just let us know what you think of the Jessica Alba masterpiece Brody considers.
And I was out of 7, by the way, my 6.5.
All right, yeah.
Do you want to tell him what next month's going to be, Derek?
Next month's theme, it's going to be Pride movies. I mean, next month is Pride, so there's no fancy alliteration for this. We didn't come up with anything. It's just going to be Pride Month. Last year, we did Pride Month, and all the movies were more or less having to do with the queer struggle and the queer community. This year, we're going to focus on less of that and more on the actual creators of such movies. So filmmakers and the actors in movies that are part of the LGBTQ plus community.
I'm really looking forward to this. We looked at a lot of lists online, and there's a ton I've never even heard of. I imagine at this point the promo for the month is out, so you can see all of the movies that are in the Hat of Destiny. But as you know, we will only get 4, sometimes 5, depending on the month. So let's go ahead and find out what we got first here in the Hat of Destiny.
All right.
Big money, big money, no whammy. Oh, I used sticky notes this time, and it's funny opening up a sticky note to the word dick.
Why is it sticky?
Oh my god, the dick was sticky.
So a movie called Dick that stars Kirsten Dunst.
Dick, which is a movie from 1999 starring Michelle Williams and Kirsten Dunst.
Ah, right.
It is about those two girls wandering off during a White House tour, and they accidentally become Richard Nixon's top secret advisors. It actually has cult status. People seem to really love this movie, so I am excited. Whether I like it or not, I think it's good that we're finally watching this. Okay. And in the interest of it being Pride Month, and just for everyone's knowledgeification, Andrew Fleming is the director, and he is an openly gay man. This is how we're going to kick off the month.
All right, with Dick.
With Dick. A little bit of Dick, which makes sense. Richard Nixon. Okay. All right.
Come start your month with Dick.
All right, and before we close out the show, as always, we are going to do our top 5. Since this is the last movie of the theme month, that's the top 5s. Top 5 dance movies. That's what we decided on. I tried to stay away from musicals unless they were specifically about dance.
Ooh, I stayed away from them completely, so that's fine.
I have 2 that I think are considered musicals, but both are actually literally about dance. It's not just like I chose Rocky Horror or something that just has dancing, you know? And since you cocked off the review, why don't you cock off the top 5?
All right, cocking off with my top 5. Here we go.
Got Dick on the mind.
Top 5 dance movies of all time, according to me. Number 5, Step Up 2.
It was my 5th, but I bumped her.
No! We bonded over that movie.
I know, and the fact that it's my 6th favorite dance movie is still pretty impressive.
I guess that's fair. And by no means is it like a good movie, but as far as the dancing in it, holy hell. So good, so entertaining, makes me want to start a career in dance. Never will. Moving on, number 4, I have Magic Mike.
Oh.
That movie, despite the content that the people are aware of, it's a fantastic movie. Steven Soderbergh made a fantastic movie. The sequels leave a lot to be desired, but this one actually has a really good through-line plot, slightly based on Channing Tatum's real-life story, and it's a good movie. Number 3, couldn't have a list without this dance movie. What? Some might say the king of dance movies.
Uh-oh.
Footloose.
Okay.
Like, when people think dance movies, more often than not, they're gonna think Footloose. The song Footloose is famous. Just play that, people dance. Number 2, Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
Darren Aronofsky, love Darren Aronofsky, and incredibly acted, incredibly well-crafted film that is ultimately about dance. My number 1 pick comes in the form of one of our choices this month.
Cool.
And it's Billy Elliot.
Yeah.
Billy Elliot made me feel so many feels, and it's such a good movie. So that's the number 1 dance movie of all time, in my opinion.
It's a good top 5. I think you're going to be pretty disappointed by the lack of bacon on my list.
Do you have John Hamm on there instead?
No. What would John Hamm be in?
Oh, I don't know. I was just going with like.
Oh, I didn't even think of. I have Shia LaBeouf.
Honorable mention is Hustlers.
I never saw it.
Yeah, this movie surprised me. Again, like Magic Mike, people see the movie, people see the trailers, or know of the movie and see the trailers, and they just kind of like wash it away, saying like, it's a stripper movie, whatever, exotic dancers. These movies have a whole nother layer to them, which is actually good storytelling and good acting, so check it out.
You said people wash these movies away, and I pointed at myself, and then you said because they're about stripping, and I'm like, wait, no, that's not why I don't want to see it.
Caught you.
I looked bad. You got me. Top 5 dance movies of all time, apparently. Number 5, we have Take the Lead.
Oh,
I don't know how well you remember that movie, but I used to watch it with Mom all the time. I loved that movie.
Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, and he teaches like ballroom dancing, but then like kind of converts that into hip hop, and like it's just it's a cool little story of helping some, just like Honey, he was helping out some kids who are on the wrong path, you know.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't remember it. I'd have to rewatch it.
Number 4. This is the hipsterest of them all. Frances Ha.
What the hell is that?
It was an ex-girlfriend's favorite movie. I probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise, but it is a Noah Baumbach movie starring Greta Gerwig. Okay. I know you hate this. It is filmed in black and white for no reason other than being artsy. But it's a good movie. Yeah. It's a good movie, just a woman trying to chase her dreams. That's it. As you know, Noah Baumbach, like, it's darkly comical. It's very good dialogue. It's quite a good watch.
Yeah, I mean, because of Noah Baumbach, it might be something that I put on, but you're not selling it for me.
I wasn't trying to.
Well, you should.
It's the best. Watch it or you'll die. Number 3, Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, see, that almost made my list, but then I said nah to musicals, so.
The dancing is more important than the songs, I think, in this movie. The dancing also is some of the most fascinating dancing I've ever seen in my life. This is the kind of dancing that interests me. Not that, like, hip-hop's cool and stuff, but the swinging of the hips and the poppin' locks, I'm like, just not as impressive as what I see in a movie like this, I guess.
Brody's old school. Yeah. Old school.
Yeah. Number 2, Old School. I'm just kidding. Number 2, and the only one we share, is Billy Elliot.
Nice. Okay, he made number 2.
No, Billy Elliot made number 2. Billy Elliot is almost as fun to say as Darren Aronofsky. Number 1, and understandable you weren't doing musicals, but this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it is Moulin Rouge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't put it on my list.
The cans and the dancing, and it's such an extravagant, fun watch. Derek and I have talked about we need to do a proper top 5 just movies, but it shuffles around all the time. But Moulin Rouge always is either in it or edging. So. Okay, we did it. We have made it to the end of another episode, the end of another month. We are done. No more dance movies. Woo! But it was a fun month either way, and we now have 4 new movies under our belt to talk about. As usual, if you liked what you watched, if you had some fun with us, please like, comment, subscribe, share, show it to your grandma. We're good with grandmas.
Brody especially.
Yeah.
He likes being bounced on one knee.
It's so nice. It's get my cheeks pinched. You're growing up to be such a handsome young man. I'm like, yeah.
If anybody has a grandma who needs some cheek pinching, let Brody know.
Who is lacking pinching cheeks themselves? I don't want to pinch their cheeks.
Either or.
I don't want to touch their cheeks. Tune in on Wednesday. We have been premiering our new SBD MEWS, which is just movie news kind of pushed together. So separate days for our news instead of at the end of our shows. We're having a lot of fun with that. And we'll see you next week with our first episode of Pride Month. Thank you all. Derek, always a blast.
Love it.
I hate when you don't reply to that at the end. Love it. Love ya. Bye.
Yup. Come start your month with Dick.